I have no idea what women like to do, so let me get out of the way. Introducing Hey Girl with Cameron and Alaina.
Hey girl. So I'm Addicts, and we want to start the show by shouting out an amazing woman in history. Today's woman in history is Diane Nash. Diane Nash stands as a pivotal figure in the American Civil Rights Movement, renowned for her unwavering commitment to nonviolent direct action. As a student leader in Nashville, she fearlessly organized and led successful sit-ins to desegregate lunch counters and played a crucial role in the freedom rides, risking her life repeatedly to challenge segregation across the South. A co-founder of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, or the SNCC, Nash was a strategic and determined force advocating for the jail, no bail policy to bring greater attention to the injustices of the era. Her impactful work contributed significantly to the passage of landmark legislation like the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 65, solidifying her legacy as a courageous champion for equality and justice. So, to Diane Nash, a great "Hey girl."
Hey,
and
girl.
now on with the show.
Diane. Thank you for your service.
Amen.
Yes.
I remove
Thank
myself.
you for leading the path for us.
Yes.
For us women.
Yes. And now, since this show is all about supporting women, I want to know, because last week we had a great conversation, right? Okay, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I need to take this off. Okay, we had a great conversation, right?
Yeah.
About how we love to support other women and how, we want to support each other. But how have you felt supported at all in your life? I would like to hear about those times. So Cameron, let's start with you. You have a plant in front of you. Let me take that plant out from in front of you. Hold on.
Yeah.
And move that plant.
Okay. How have I, did you want to go first, Alaina?
No. You.
Okay.
Do it.
So I was very undecided as a young teenager exactly what path I wanted to take in life in general. So I actually took a gap year off after I graduated high school, and I just kind of tried to figure out life. I worked and, played around. And then it was really at the encouragement of a family member for me to go ahead and trudge and go to school and things like that. So when I got in school, I had two options: either to flunk out at my own expense or go through and just like pretty much thug it out. And that's what I decided to do. And that's pretty much like the support, that I had to be where I am today.
I love that. I wonder if like every college kid goes through that like first half of their year, their first semester, where they're like, having maybe too much fun or just not as committed or just not as responsible. And it's like a lot. And then has that realization, because I know that's happened with my kids and I know that happened with me. And I think that that's such a like natural experience. And so it's great that you had someone that you could call and be like, what do I do? For me, it's really interesting, specifically in the space of like women supporting women. I feel really fortunate that we have, I feel like I have experienced this transition of like women not supporting each other into women supporting each other. And I think part of it is the awareness that we have in the world. But also I think it's partly our age, like we talked about last time, sort of like once you get to a certain age, like you're like, I'm not in competition with you. And for so long, women were told we were allotted like a third of the pie or a quarter of the pie, and all of us had to vie for that quarter of the pie. And now we're like, the whole damn pie is available.
Yeah.
And we don't have to fight over this one section. We have access to the whole thing. And in fact, if we band together, we can do better. And I just think on an emotional level, that helps. And I remember when my kids were little, my older son would always bring like a bunch of his friends over, because we lived right by their middle school when we lived in Los Angeles. And sometimes the girls would come over and they would like make fun of my younger daughter. And I called them in because they all thought I was cool, when you're like the cool younger mom. I'm like the younger mom of my older kids and the older mom of my younger kids. But and I remember saying to them, like, you have such a great opportunity to like show her, a younger person, a younger girl, how to be cool and to like take her under your wing and to support her. And so I feel like I've experienced that in my life and in my career.
That's incredible.
I truly believe the scripture that says, I know the plans I have for you, like to, you know, pretty much to give you a hope and a future and all of these things, because I was not a good student in high school.
You're lying.
And
Are you serious?
I'm 100% positive. I mean, like,
I would have never guessed
for
that.
me to have graduated high school, it really took God giving me that degree, because I was a C, D-ish, maybe a B here and there student. But then I got to college and I did just a complete 180, and I was very studious. I got A's and B's. And I mean, this is like with a pretty difficult college degree. I have a degree in biology.
What?
And one of my degrees is in biology. And so that is not for the faint of heart to say that I'm going to go to college and get a biology degree. So
no, because you can go to med school with that.
I could have, yeah, but I kind of just took a different roadmap. But, you know, so again, like, things change.
You think it's because it was something that you were interested in?
Again, I knew, so my parents kind of were the type of people, they were like, okay, you're out of high school, go find your way. I didn't have anybody to run back to really to say, hey, can you help me out? You know, I just kind of had to figure it out, and I knew that. And so with that being said, I was just very driven to make a way for my life.
Determined, conviction.
Yeah. And my grit and determination is a good and bad thing. Like, ask Jeff, like, when I'm determined to do something, it doesn't matter. I'm, you know, I may wait a little bit, but I'm gonna get it done.
Same. And I think that's such a great segue to our next segment. Alaina Huffman has been on tour, honey. Later on this month, you can actually catch her in Melbourne, Australia. Then she's going back here to the States to be in Michigan. And guess what? Then she's going across the pond back to London, UK, and then right back here for the Creation Tour stop in Austin, Texas. Then back up north in Chicago for the Creation Stop tour there. And you can actually see her at the Salutis Model thing in Chicago. But this is going back up north to Vancouver, then down to Philadelphia, then down even more south to Nashville, and then to Veldhoven. So check out the tour dates, go buy some tickets, go see Alaina on tour, and now back to Hey Girl, Hey Girl.
Hey, Wendy.
Hey.
Thanks for joining
Hey Girl,
our official first guest of the Hey Girl show. So we appreciate you taking the time out, you and your tan, for being here.
I know. Should I cover it up?
No, I love it. It's given beachy. It's given, you know, summer. I love it. So yeah. So you are a poet. You are a mother, an entrepreneur, and we just, you know, love everything that you have to offer. We've been to a couple of your poetry events where you talked about your book and everything. Can you kind of explain more of what that's about and, you know, what got you into the whole poetry thing?
So really with me, I'm just adding more and more streams of income. Like, as God speaks to me, I am, you know, I'm a designer, I'm a creative writer, so I don't just write poetry, but that is my first published project on my own. I've done ghostwriting also in the past. But yeah, so the event that you're talking about is Poetry and Perspectives. So it looks at the highs and lows of dating relationships. I love it because it's interactive. it's not just me doing performances of poetry, but it actually is very interactive with the crowd. I think men and women we have so much built up emotion that we want to get out. It's a lot of robust conversation based on questions that are stemmed from the poetry in my book, since it's about the highs and lows of relationships. We've all been in relationships in one way or another. I am single right now. I've been married. I've been divorced. I'm a mother. So, I carry a lot of different hats in my life. And I just think it's a place of just being allowed to be human and transparent, and just a safe space where we don't all have to have it figured out. Like where, I don't have all the answers. I've learned a lot at my events. And I think a lot of people have learned a lot of different perspectives, especially listening to men. Women talk amongst ourselves, or men talk amongst themselves. So it's good to just have a safe space so we can really hear each other and just see each other and listen to each other. So.
And when she says safe space, I'm sorry, Alaina, I didn't mean to cut you off. Like there's literally like no videotaping, no record, like when you're able to speak freely and genuinely within this circle of people that you've never even really met before. And that's what I like about it too. Like it's kind of, you come in and the door's open to just be yourself.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to say. Like you got a lot of engagement and you got a lot of people speaking. And I think it's probably a combination of like a safe space. Also, like for anybody who wasn't there, like it's quiet and cold and a little bit dark. And then we had a couple of drinks, and then you had your poems, and then it kind of just really naturally opened up to a flowy conversation. You had questions that you asked, but kind of went with the flow of people would speak on what other people spoke on. And it really was a conversation of, I don't know, 40, 50 people or however many people were there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So go ahead.
The whole dynamic of different perspectives and people just, dealing with the way that they see relationships and how to deal with it, and getting their perspective and seeing, what your perspective is. It kind of just like meshes it all together. And you're like, wow, I never thought of it that way. So your book just opens up a lot of conversation for a lot of things.
Yeah, I guess it's, I've been through a lot of different experiences. So I just realized I used to keep it on the inside. And when I started sharing and letting people know about my testimony, and just honestly, just being out and just saying, I don't have it all figured out. Because I think on social media, especially, it's a lot of influence. People want to look so polished. And, it's so funny, like towards the end of my marriage, I would post pictures of my family, my husband, my ex-husband was there. And I would get comments like #couple goals and like all this stuff. And I was thinking, oh gosh, like
if you only knew.
If you only knew. And not that everything was bad. Like it was, definitely beautiful moments. I just decided to make a pivot in my life. But I think, just letting people know that you're just human. And I mean, it was people speaking that had filed for divorce. It was married couples that were there that had been married 20 and 30 years. It was 20-year-olds. It was 60-year-olds. And literally the dynamic was 50% men and 50% women. Like that's just how God worked it out. And it was beautiful. Like I got so many messages after the fact of just the impact from some of the conversations. And really it's just, just the ability to share how you feel about something. It's not a right or wrong answer in this human relationship experience. Like we're all trying to figure it out.
How did you come up with the concept of the event? Like, what was it? Obviously you wrote your book. Was that cathartic for you? And then the sharing of it, and then the engagement aspect, like how did it all come together?
So I love community. I love to listen to other people's opinions. I just feed off of that as a creative. And before I published the book, I knew I was going to break it up into emotions. So I had a hard time because I had so much content and I had so many poems and I had so many stories. And I was like, I want to break it up into emotions. So I had a brainstorming session at my house. I invited, it was probably 20 people, 10 guys, 10 girls. You know, it was very small, intimate. And I was just reading the poems. And just like I did, you know, for the event, I had everybody close their eyes. I passed out pieces of paper and pens. And I said, as soon as I'm done with this poem, I just want you to tell me what kind of emotion do you feel when you hear it. So the event started, I think, at 6 o'clock at my house. It was supposed to go to like 9. And it was people there to like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
It was crazy. And it was one poem. The men were just like, oh my gosh, you hear us, like it's written from a female perspective, but they related to it so much. Like one poem we talked about for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And it was, oh my gosh, this reminds me of my ex, or this reminds, you know, and women were like, you really feel like that? You know? So it was because of that. And when I published the book, a lot of people know I was putting the book, I published it, well, before it went into print, it was under anonymous, because it's a lot of very, you know, it's emotional poetic stories. And I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but it's very true and authentic. But I decided to pivot and put it under my name. But with that said, because of that brainstorming session, I always wanted to do a quote unquote book study. So I always wanted to listen to the male perspective and listen to the female perspective in real time. So that was like 2 years in the making, because the book was first published in 23. But I wanted to get the book study guide out first, just to share like some of the background, give you perspective and clarity on the stories, the poetic stories that are in the book. So that's why I had it set up like that. I wanted it to be very interactive, because everybody wants to speak. Like I didn't want it to just be a dictatorship, or you know, where I'm just telling everybody something and getting nothing in return. And the energy was great. So
Yeah. So you talk about, you know, how you dealt with your divorce and everything. Was the poetry started prior to your divorce or after? Like, was it part of your healing process in getting through that journey that you were on?
yeah. And the funny thing is, I tell people it's like sharing my therapy journal with the world, because I have, you know, I've been writing for years, and I just captured everything and created this story, which is a book. So people think it's a one-time snap in my life. It's really not. Like I have, you know, in the love section, it's a lot of poems about being in love and getting engaged, and, you know, the whole butterflies that's associated with that. And I call it the love trilogy. For me and my story, that lasted for maybe 5 years. And after 5 years, I had another poem that was called Concrete Decisions. And it was like, wait a second, why am I here? Do I want to be here? I feel misplaced. And then it was, you know, like, and then I have the trilogy to love is like part 3 was a poem called Freeze. And it was like, I'm still here, but I don't really want to be here. How do I navigate out of that? So I think it's very common, you know, in long-term relationships, and some really survive and thrive. And I think that that's beautiful. I just had like a different story, you know, but yeah.
And you were very open with that story, which we could definitely appreciate as women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the double perspective, because so often, as you mentioned, like we'll talk to each other, and women's perspective is usually, it depends, right? Because you always know like which girlfriend to go to if you want to have your story confirmed,
Right.
and you know which one who's gonna like call you on your shit and be like, no, maybe this is you. Remember how like this is a continuing thing. So it's really cool to have both perspectives. I mean, so often we see, especially on social media, it'll be like, women, what are the things you want men to know? And there's a bunch of men commenting, and it's like, it says women, and vice versa. And I think we just really do need to listen to each other.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So your book is, or you go by the name W. Rain at your poetry events. Tell us a little bit of how you came up with that name and what it means to you.
So that's my pen name. And just going back to me saying I was putting out the book under anonymous initially, I talked to God. I got a different perspective. And I said, you know what? I need to add my name to the book. But I still had a little bit of fear. And so I came up with this pen name, W Rain. So W stands for Wendy. Reign means to rule. And that actually gave me the confidence to add my name to the book. I ended up not only adding my full name on the about the author, but I also added a picture of myself, which wasn't there at first. And then I took it even further, and I added other pictures from like a photo shoot that I had done. So yeah, so W Reign, reign meaning to rule. It's just like I'm going to rule over your thoughts and your emotions as you dive into these stories with me. So that's where it comes from. And then I just had like a spinoff. I did like Rain Lingerie. Now I own a brand called Rain Always. So, and I'm still in the designing stage of that. But I just think women just need to, we need to rule over ourselves. Like whether it's you're ruling over your sexy, you're ruling over your confidence, whatever it is, like you just need to build yourself up. And I had to go through it, so I know that it's possible.
I love that. I feel like, so my profession, my whole job is pretending to be somebody else. And as an actor, when I create and develop a character, there's so much freedom in like finding that voice, because it's not convoluted by my own things. And so I often think of, I teach in my daughter's gymnastics, I mentor the girls and I teach them to create an alter ego, like Sasha Fierce. Beyonce has Sasha Fierce. Kobe Bryant has the Black Mamba. And it's something where you are vulnerably protected as a person, but you really can step into that power. So that's really cool that you found that character of yourself.
Thank you for watching this episode of Hey Girl. To see the full episode, join Ontegration. www.ontegration.com to learn more.
So finding that space and that balance is really important.
I'm not even a woman, but I feel so empowered by this entire conversation. I just wanted to tell you guys that. Like I'm just like, yes, divas, yes, women, yes. So I wanted to ask, because we talk so much about support, and Wendy, you brought up such a beautiful word. Like, I'm so much a community. I'm a community gal. It takes a village. It truly does. So I wanted to know, because we're all gathered here by Jeffrey. Of course we are. I wanted to ask you, what does integration mean for you?
Are you asking me?
Yes, Diva, yes.
Well, first of all, I'll just say that I believe in divine connection. So I know that we're talking about the Lord, and I just want to put that in there. And I really feel that God really connected Jeff and I in the gym. I mean, it was so many parallels. It's crazy.
I told you.
He meets everybody in the gym. He meets everybody.
Well, he didn't meet me in the gym.
Well, girl,
but sometimes we meet you at the gym.
But there was dancing and cardio going on, but it wasn't a gym.
Hey, yes.
But for me, I think sometimes you don't know what you need until it's presented to you.
Ooh.
So I have, and this was one thing I actually said to Jeff when we met. I said, I've just been in this space where God gives me this idea, I execute it, and I run with it. And it's been great, but I don't nurture it. Like that's the problem that I had. So I would have all of these startup ideas, and it's like,
but the follow through.
Right. Yeah. And it's the follow through.
Yeah.
And so when we started talking more and more, and he was saying, what integration was about, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is the missing piece.
You needed the follow through, and that's the follow through.
It literally was like the pieces of the puzzle were just orchestrated perfectly.
Avengers assemble.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Jeff always
even from I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Even from my event, Poetry and Perspectives, I was doing stuff so grassroots. I'm like, I have friends at the door. They're writing people's names down on a spreadsheet. And I'm like, shoot, it's worked.
Wendy.
That's what I do for all my events, And he came through and he's like, oh no, honey, like we have a QR code. They can just scan that
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Because I got a text from somebody who's watching the show. Listen, I came in like Wendy Williams, tired, disheveled. Let me tell you, I had sunglasses up in my glasses.
This is how he walked in the room.
There's a my wings are broken. Okay, on the 405, the wings are broken. Okay, I tried to flutter here and they didn't work. Okay, so they're off. This is ridiculous. That's because we have 66 live viewers, ladies. By the way, just want to point it out.
Hello, viewers. Welcome.
Want to point it out. But like, let me tell you, I was a disheveled mess. My outfit is not determined by like who I am. This is just, girl, we had a time.
You
and there's a
gorgeous,
tornado.
darling.
Anyway, Wendy, I'm so sorry for interrupting you, but go ahead and please continue.
No, I was just saying it was just the pieces to the puzzle were identified and I didn't realize that I needed it, to be quite honest. And it's just going to take my brand and the things that I'm working on to the next level, to be quite honest. And, you know, back to that word community, I've just always, you know, I'm one of these creatives that's I'm like, I'm in my creative space. I don't want anyone to
Right,
you know,
I'm gonna go into a cave for like a year and come back with a beautiful project. Like I'm going to a cave for a year. Yeah,
So sometimes it's difficult. Like you're thinking, oh my gosh, like, but it's worked for me. But has it worked though? You know, like if somebody can bring you something that makes it better, that
who am I?
Has it worked?
Yeah,
So it's worked. It's
Well,
like it's worked
to a
to point A. We're trying to go to point Z. You know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, sometimes you need for me, I'm very hands-on. And let me tell you, like I've told these other ladies, I will do everything in my power to make sure you win in life because I love being creative and I will do whatever it takes to make your brands and your visions come to life. That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's part of integration. And so I wanted to know, because you said something very, very interesting, Alaina. And I want to ask this to you. And okay, so earlier we had a little like improvisation moment with Cameron. And I want to know from you two ladies how it feels to carry a character and then have to like let go of that character. How difficult is that?
Go ahead.
That's an Alaina question. I've done background actress.
But still, even saying watermelon is difficult. Number two girl, like washer. Yeah, like, you have to.
It's a relationship. And for me, like to me, finding a character is like falling in love. Like it's you have an idea of who they are. They present themselves. And Shonda Rhimes talks about this in her book, My Year of Yes, great book.
I love that book.
So good, right?
Yeah.
She talks about the throuple, the relationship between the character, the actor, and the writer. And I've witnessed this many times playing a character over a long period of time where like we show up with a page and everybody puts their little stank on it, right? Like you go to wardrobe and they dress you with your input and it's
a little bit more layered and a little more layer, another layer.
And you go in hair and makeup and that's a jam session and they bring their instruments and you bring your vocals and you guys create this beautiful melody. And then you step on stage and you have other actors who your character interacts with. And then you have a director and the production design. I mean, it's just like this boo, 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 and it just kind of goes outwards. And then you learn so much about the character and the character presents itself to you, but then also to the writers who then interpret the character back to you. And it's just this like beautiful collaborative that I personally wouldn't want ever to do completely on my own. Like one character that I'm known for the most probably is Abaddon on Supernatural. And I say this publicly all the time. I take no credit for her. I simply allowed. I just stood and allowed her to become. And it's surrender. So I think
I have chills.
To any art though, right? Like Wendy, maybe you can speak on this. Like when you knew you had this expression and you knew where to put it, it's
faucet. It's a faucet.
Effortless.
It really is.
It's not without work, but it's there's no and anything that is resistance. Like I have this one character who used to bother me. Oh my gosh. I call her Crybaby. It was my character on Stargate. I learned so much about being vulnerable, about needing to be a part of a community, to ask for help. Like I had such a hard head at that stage in my life, and she taught me the most about how to be a whole woman. And it was in perceived weakness, and I fought it, but it was still an effortless endeavor, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
I
Cameron,
love it.
how did
Beautiful
you feel?
description.
Like, I know you felt like some sort of like nervousness, like, but what was it about it that made you nervous of doing like the live improv thing? Cameron.
I'm sorry. Oh, I am thinking you're talking to Alaina. I'm sorry.
No, we're here for y'all. We're here with you, girl.
It's
Our new ingenue,
I mean,
please.
y'all are actresses. I mean, people improv all the time. And that's just kind of something that I feel like you either have or you don't. Like
It's a skill, like it's you work on
a muscle. It's a muscle.
right.
It's a muscle. It's an exercise. Yeah.
Exactly. It's a muscle. And I don't necessarily have that muscle that's kind of like trained to do that yet. I'm working on it. And I feel like this podcast is helping me be a little bit more, improv-ish, whatever, if that's a word.
Yeah. And these are like Wendy, when Wendy has like her live
just
event.
to be put on the spot and say, okay, go, time to, do, that's kind of like, ooh.
Yeah.
So Wendy, how do you like navigate doing live shows like that? Because I'm sure it's like a lot of improv on the spot, just hosting, vamping.
It's very much outside of my comfort zone.
Really?
Very much, yes. So it comes with nerves. But, as I've channeled W. Rain, it's much easier. Ooh. And I'm just like, who can judge? I think I used to be more nervous because I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody's going to be looking at me. And I just do not like to be the center of attention. Mm-hmm. However, I don't know. I think the more you do it, the easier it gets, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And I like to create spaces. So if I create a space that makes me feel a way, I know that the people that come into it will hopefully feel that same way. And then I feel like we're together. Yeah, so I like dim light. I like dim light.
Vibe. You like a vibe.
I like certain music.
Yeah.
So I'm creating the energy. If I can
from the get-go,
energy, it's easier for me.
So I mean, I love hearing this insight from other people who would like have to do this, like Alaina, like herself, because what I do is I live stream gymnastics meets across the world. This past week, we peaked at 14.4 thousand viewers just on the European Championships. Wow. And for some subdivisions, there's no commentary. So during those subdivisions of qualifying rounds, we provide the commentary for it. Sometimes it's like 10 hours of straight commentary. Sometimes it's like 14 hours of straight commentary. And sometimes it's 2. So having to be there in an engaged manner, talking gymnastics, calling out skills, which sometimes I mess up on, or just saying outlandish shit, like it comes with a lot of nervousness and anxiety, and oftentimes kind of like, ooh, shit, like I should not have said that. That's happened before. And so my next question to you guys is, what happens when you put your foot in your mouth? Do you just what do you do in a particular like situation? Do you own it? Do you just like, oh shit? Do you let it like anxiety ride you the rest of the event? What do you do to kind of like bypass that? Because what I do is I just like try to make more jokes, and then the whole I'm like my knees in my mouth, and by the time I'm over, I'm like a squid. I'm like eating myself or a snake. It's just, what do you do? We'll go with Cameron. Cameron, what do you do in those situations?
I feel like the more comfortable you are with the person, the more you put your foot in your mouth, because you're like, oops,
that's a dinner table conversation, girl.
Probably shouldn't have said that. So the closer you are to somebody, you do that more. I don't know. I mean, Jeff is really big on, you need to apologize for that.
Yes, he is. Yes, he
is like the apologize, man. Like you need to apologize.
You should go talk to them.
And so, yeah,
he'll say that to you about something that happened, or he'll say that to the person.
No, to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Alex is asking about
That's
me.
Amazing.
and I mean, ego sometimes takes over, and I'm like, no, I don't need to apologize. I didn't do anything, And
We
so
were not wrong in this situation.
no, why? And
I'm
so
perfect.
I think I have to kind of lower that little ego thing and then say
That
okay,
threshold. That threshold.
exactly. I
Yeah.
apologize for, you have to learn being in therapy, you always have to say what you're apologizing for.
Because if you don't, it's like, oh, it's just a blanket apology, and that doesn't really matter.
Exactly. You can't just say, oh, well, I'm sorry. Well, I
Yeah.
apologize for XYZ. So, yeah.
Wendy, do you want to go next? 'Cause I have a question to tag on, but then we would have to go to Alaina because I need to know Elena's answer on this. So go
You
ahead,
said me?
Wendy. Yeah, let's go with you because I have a question to tag on.
I just keep going. I can be a big goof. I mean, people people that really know me, they know I have like this funny sense of humor. I'm like very quick-witted. And I just think that people like to see humanity again. I don't think everyone has to be so polished on everything.
They like the
think
rawness.
And people feel more comfortable if you can share that you're flawed. So it doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
I just keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'll get in my head and then I'll shut down, and I know that.
Oh, and then it's over. Then I have to go take a 5.
Yeah.
I have to go take a 5, and then it turns to 10, and then it's over.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I think we I mean, it starts with filtering your thoughts, right? And the most careful. If we're talking about like genuine mistakes, I mean, you own the mistake, but I also feel like we live in the offense era.
And not that we want to like be at live on the line, but sometimes I just set up like the line crossed me. I had to have a condo there.
Yeah, you're like, I just said hydrate. I'm sorry, it's offensive to you. I don't know. Don't then. Like
Yeah.
There's a point where there's a ridiculousness, but no, if there's something that I've done that's offensive, like I've gotten here in my life where I genuinely am like, oh, I need to
some
get
education is needed on both parts.
I'm sorry that like I have no fight left in me either. Like I don't want to argue. I just want to be like, oh, well, thank you for telling me your perspective. I hadn't considered that, and I appreciate.
I love that
because I also like. I don't know. I got no fight left. I'm not like,
it's like, girl, what do you want?
Or just say that it wasn't my
wrong. My bad.
I think the older that I get, I've learned to pause before I react. And sometimes I'm not the best at that, but I've gotten better. So I don't have to apologize as much for putting my foot in my mouth. So I think like, a lot of times if we can just kind of like take it in and digest what the other person is trying to say or whatever before we react, it cuts down on the, putting the foot in the mouth.
Cameron, I'm so glad you brought up aging because I have a special birthday surprise for you. Yay!
Thank you.
Okay, so here we go. So Jeff and I were like, what would be the best kind of gift? Because, the liquidity is not there right now, honey. Not that it won't be soon. But we brought our talents together. Well, my talents together, of course. Not ChatGPT. And we are doing an entire merch drop for your birthday. And it's called the Hey Girl International line. Let me show you what it is. Okay, let me show you what it is. Hold on.
I want to see it.
Present. I need that. Share screen. Found her, girl. Found her.
I don't know if.
Yeah, her birthday is tomorrow. Okay, so we're gonna start at the very. Okay, so this is just a very basic tee, right? But I want you to focus on the actual artwork. Okay, so this is very basic. This is a tee, whatever. If you look closely in this artwork, it has "Hey Girl" in several languages in the background. Okay,
love it.
Then we take this motif. And we go into a cute little high performance hoodie. And look at this. Aww. Hey Girl, but then we have the different languages on the sleeve.
Oh, so dope. I love it.
And then we go back, and it just keeps getting better because I was like, I was finding my way through the design. I had to feel it out. So then we do a long sleeve, same kind of concept, right? The winter grace you're writing on the back, and you have all the writing in the back of the languages, and it's I think like 25 different languages, maybe 30 languages.
Wow.
Okay.
But we go back to the products, and I want to show you one of my favorites is this one. So after I got comfortable with the design, I was like, girl, let's just go for it. Yes, Diva, yes. We went for it. And she's so cute. She has the one integration here on the hood.
Yes.
The Hey Girl on the pockets, and it's an all-over print. Look at this Diva. Do you see that her bone structure? Bella Hadid could never. She could never compete. Okay, now we go back because I'm being so happy about this. And I was like, let's take this design even further, Diva.
Oh gosh.
So what I did was I put the hands in the intro. Yes, Diva. Yes.
Okay, so I have a little something to say about that. So when Addicts first made the intro to Hey Girl, the hands that were meeting one another were Addicts.
Manlier. There were man hands. Man hands.
I love that, but you've got to make them a little more feminine. So thank you for changing that, because a Hey Girl shirt with man hands would have been pretty bad.
It would have been a moment, but not a moment we wanted.
Right.
You know what I mean? But isn't she
love
cute?
it.
She's so cute.
She's
Okay.
Question. Maybe it's a dumb
That is
one.
cute.
Yeah.
No dumb questions, right?
Thank y'all.
Yes, ma'am.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Okay.
I love it.
Is there like a way to put a QR code on?
Oh yeah, always. I can always do that. Yeah.
Because I feel like people are like, "What's Hey Girl?" Oh, just scan me.
So share this episode. We have these cute pants,
Oh, love.
which have all the writings on the side, and then on the other side, it just starts off on that side.
Oh my gosh, those are so rad.
And then we have. I really put my heart into this because I knew your husband needed me to.
A hat.
A hat. This hat is really cute. It's the hands.
Oh, I
love
like
that.
it.
So
Yeah,
good.
that's very
It has the logo on the side and Hey Girl on that side.
Yes.
Oh, I like it.
And then
Love it.
integration on the back. And then I just have two more items. I know I'm boring you. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm gagged by my own design. Stop. This is the bucket hat. It's a poof bucket hat. Poof.
Poof.
Okay.
Very
Love.
cute. Very diva. Very, very that. And then finally, no, I have two more things actually. I have the apron for when we do our cooking segment.
Yes.
Cute.
Okay.
So good.
And then the final one is it's a tour de force. It's this dress with all the words on it.
Wowza.
With the integration branding on the back.
Okay, that is a little much, but
That is a commitment.
Listen, I tried my best here, ladies.
okay, Addicts, I want to see you in the dress, please.
I don't do that. Not in this administration.
Let me tell you what would be cute though.
Yeah.
Dress, maybe a tennis skirt.
I see they have tennis skirts. I just wanted to go full on like this crazy. So we'll do the tennis
Be
skirt.
more playful.
A skirt?
Yeah.
I love a skirt.
Mhm.
So Wendy, where can they find you? Where can the people find you?
Score.
All of my socials, is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
just throw them out, Diva.
Well, Instagram, my personal is Fly Like the Wind. So
Ooh.
Fly Like the Wind, WEND. I also have business Instagram pages. So W Rain Poetry. So WREIGN Poetry.
Period.
And that is the same for my Facebook. I think it's W.Rain Poetry and Wendy Johnson on Facebook. My TikTok is W Rain Poetry as well.
Period. Here, Alaina.
Website
Like and
WRainPoetry.com.
Yes. Alaina, where can people find you?
At Alaina Huffman. Everywhere. Anywhere.
Period. Cameron, where can they find you?
All right. Mamaste_Slane on Instagram. You can find me.
Beautiful. Okay.
Thank you for watching Hey Girl. I hope that you have gathered some insight, and we would love to give you more. Stay tuned.
There he
Such a
is!
natural.
She did it! Oh, what a diva! Oh, I love it! Oh, I love it! All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us, y'all. Like, literally, this is.
Fun.
Do you want to tell you the final total?
Yeah.
You guys ended this show with 86 live viewers.
Okay.
We built it in the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Showing
I-
up.
Thank you all for giving us this
Thank
wonderful
y'all.
time, this wonderful space. And I just want to tell you guys it was a privilege to listen to you into your conversation. And that if you want to follow us, please go to oneintegration.com. If you want the full conversation, go to oneintegration.com and sign up. Find us. Scan the QR code now on the screen. Like, comment, subscribe. Do all the things, all the YouTube things, all the Facebook things, on whatever platform you're watching us on. Please just like, comment, subscribe, and do all the things. Until next time, this is Hey Girl. Hey Girl. Hey Girl. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
To learn more about Oneintegration and Oneintegration Productions, click the QR code below.